2K simulators. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Fishing North Atlantic. We last left off with a little bit less than $463,533. I did one fishing trip without y'all, just because like I'm trying to get to the point where we can move on and start seeing like other types of fishing, because I don't want the entire series to be me doing lobster fishing. So speaking of, I went ahead and did like some of the maintenance stuff and all that jazz. Looks like this is where the lobsters are over here. So let's head over here and see what we can manage. I'm really glad that people are enjoying this series. And in fact, there's like, there's another game that just got announced a few days ago as a recording of this video. That I'm gonna put a video together about, called, I believe it was like Seafarer Ships at Sea or something like that. But yeah, I'll put a video together with that. Probably I'll put the video together on Wednesday is when I plan on filming it. I might even film it like right after doing this. But it looks really interesting to me, and I think that we could have fun with it together. And so like I'm pretty excited for that one. That one looks pretty fun. But let me go ahead and find some fishies or some lobsters, and we'll go from there. This indicator that we got was from 3 days ago, so we're gonna have to maneuver around. But while I'm getting ready to do that, let's go ahead and do today's comment shout out from the last episode. All right, today's comment shout out comes from JetRoss1017, who said that pot at 17 minutes was 1 2 3 4 5, and that's awesome. Also, man, I just stumbled across your channel here, watching one of my favorite games. Quickly turned into one of my favorite channels to watch. Keep it up. I can't wait to see the channel grow into something huge. Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping. Keep up those comments, because it really helps the algorithm. And I didn't originally realize that that pot was 1 2 3 4 5, because I just read it as 1,234.5. And I didn't even realize, like, it didn't even cross my brain that was 1 2 3 4 5 until later. Anyway, thank you for the comment. All right, thank you so much for that comment shout out there. You know, I really appreciate you guys leaving feedback like that here on these videos. It really helps encourage me to continue to make them, but it also helps the algorithm find an audience for this channel. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys' support of this small channel. It's been a pretty awesome ride lately. Construction on my remodel for my house is almost complete. Like, we did quite a bit of work on that over this weekend, and so I'm filming this a little bit later than I normally would because of that. And yeah, like it's really exciting, because pretty soon here I'll have my house back, which I'm really excited about, because my house has been covered in plastic and dirt and debris for like the past month and a half. And so like I'm really excited to have my house back. Maybe I'll put a video together of that to kind of like show you guys the process, or maybe I'll just do like the pictures like I did last time in the last episode. But yeah, it's really coming together, and I'm really excited to see kind of like I'm really excited to see it finished, you know. But speaking of like all of that timing stuff and all that fun jazz, right? The one thing that we're gonna have to deal with before too long here is the change of the season, right? So I need to try to earn roughly $1 million, close to $1 million which we're like less than halfway there. And we're gonna have to try to earn all of that money in order to buy a deep line fishing boat, because the reason why I want to go deep line, and speaking of, I don't think we see like any fishing, but the reason why I want to go deep line fishing is because if we look at the fish seasons, right? So lobster's gonna end in May 31st. It's April 11th right now. And the next season starts June 1st for bluefin tuna, which if we go tuna fishing through June and July, we should earn just like a ridiculous amount of money doing that. And so I'm pretty excited for that. But I'm not, I might have like skipped over some lobster. There we go. Here we got lobster again in this area. Which, speaking of, let's do this. Let's put a little lobster right there. Okay. But I'll bring you back after I put down all of these pots, because it seems like it's going to be a very weird pattern that I need to lay out to find these lobsters. So I'll bring you back after this, because this is going to take me some time. All right, welcome back. So it seems like all of our pots are ready to be picked up. I laid a pattern out like this. I went straight up here, and then we started finding like a decent pocket of lobsters like up in this area. So I might fish that a second time. We're gonna kind of play that by ear, because I need to we need to see like how much lobster we actually get out of these pots. And then the other thing that I'm going to pay attention to while doing this is the sonar, because now that it's been about 19 hours, the sonar should give us an indication of like, you know, did the lobsters move on? Did we catch them all in the area? Like, we got to figure that out. But I usually like to show you guys the first pot. Ooh, that does not look good, because it's kind of usually like the determining factor on like how good the string of pots is gonna be. And this, well, that's a big guy. I can't see his eyes, so I think he counts. Ooh, that's not good. That's not. Oh, 324 pounds. That's better. I was thinking that was gonna be like 180 pounds. I guess that big guy just really weighed a lot. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm glad that there's more Navy games coming out lately. I tried playing the demo of Task Force Admiral, which is like one of the games that I'm super duper extra excited for. But I couldn't figure out how to play the game just yet. But I didn't really play it for very long. I played for about 10 minutes. So, but there's no, in the demo, there's like, it's not a tutorial or anything. It doesn't teach you how to play the game. So that's unfortunate. This very small storm here is pushing the boat around quite a lot right now. I'm trying to get it. There we go. But yeah, I'm glad that there's a lot of other people that are still playing this game as well. It's not even that old of a game, but usually with how many games get released in a given year, right? A game usually has, it depends on the game, of course, but games usually these days have a shelf life of about 3 to 4 months or so. Depends on the game though, of course. But games like this don't have a very long shelf life unless they have, like, you know, DLC and stuff coming out for them and all that jazz. That one was 600 pounds, so that's pretty good. So it's kind of fun to see that, like, it's not just me that that's enjoying this game, you know? Because I mean, you gotta admit, right, this is a very niche game, which is I think is kind of like a benefit to me here on this channel, because there's not a lot of people that are making videos for the game in 2025. So I don't know, maybe it's working out to my benefit, but I'm glad that you're enjoying it is all. Let's see here. Okay, here's a question for those of you who are still in the video right now. What would be your dream Navy game? Like, if you could have any Navy game that you wanted, right? Like, let's say money's no object and you could have and make any Navy game that you wanted, what game would that be? For me personally, I don't know if you've ever played this game before, but there's a game out there called Naval Action, and it's pretty phenomenal, right? Because Naval Action is an 18th century ship of sail PvP dominance game where you're like trying to fight for control over territory and all that stuff. It's pretty fun. I would love to see that concept, but in World War II, with the exception of no submarines and no aircraft carriers that are player controlled, right? And the reason for that is because the skill would come from the shooting of the guns instead of the skill coming from, ooh, I have a sneak attack, you couldn't see me and I couldn't do jack diddly squat against you. You know, like if I'm in a battleship and you're in a submarine, like that's not a fun matchup for anybody. Like, but and same thing with an aircraft carrier, you know, like an aircraft carrier being able to reach out and touch somebody from like 400 miles away, and like you're sitting there with your range of like 30 miles or 26 miles or whatever. Yeah, that wouldn't really be fun. But anyway, what would be your favorite game? And I'll bring you back after I collect all these pots, or if I get like one that's like really significant, I'll bring you back for that too. All right, I'm bringing you back. As you can see from our total down here, 4,017 pounds. This was not a very good string of pots. There was a couple in there that were like 700, and no fish were caught there. Yeah, that's the second pot that no fish were caught. Normally I would return home and just cut my losses on this one, but I don't think we're gonna do that this time around, because we're not gonna earn that much money from that. So we're gonna come back down here and let's start here and see if we can't find some more lobsters. But yeah, so somebody commented in one of my other episodes of this series that they were glad that I showed them my failures as well, and I really agree with that a lot, because that's kind of like my whole mentality with this channel is I don't want to just show success, because if all I do is show success, then you know, you're gonna be sitting there going like, oh no, like why am I not as good, when the reality is that you're having the exact same experience that I am. Speaking of experiences, I'm gonna go ahead and put a cut in right here and bring you back as soon as I find some more lobsters for us to go after. Okay, I'm bringing you back because we just laid out these pots right here. It's kind of like a funky, like, I don't know, weird curve thing. But I figure it should work out for us. And we should be able to do this. But let's go ahead and we will anchor for 18 hours. And it looks like, yeah, I need one more hour. But I found, okay, this is where I found the lobsters, right over here. But I don't believe that this is going to be a very good string of pots. I could be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, of course, but you know, we got some seagulls in the area. Seagulls are usually the indicator that you're kind of like, you're on the fish when you have seagulls in the area. This is kind of harking back to episode 1, where I said it's usually better for you to find your own fish as opposed to the fish that you find through those the tips at the bar. Now the tips at the bar will give you like a good like starter location, but you'll never find like the mother load of fish in those areas, because the reason why is that by the time it ends up as information they want to give out in the bar, it usually either means two things. Number one, the other fishermen have reached their quota and are no longer going to fish in that area, or number two, they're starting to talk about it because they've fished the area out. That's actually like a good sign. This pot is looking pretty decent. Oh, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it on that guy, because you can barely see. Now that guy, he's definitely too small. That guy, you can't see the ball on his eyeball. So, oh, that's a big one. So I'm gonna say that guy's okay. This is a really decent pot. I was just saying, like, oh, I don't think that this one's gonna be that good. And 995 pounds of fish later, I think I was wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and gather up these different pots, and we'll go from there. I'll bring you right back. Okay, I'm bringing you back because that last pot was 1,162.6 pounds. And those are the kind of pots that I friggin' love. And I wish we would get more of those more often, but you know, I think it's also kind of fun that those are not common pots, right? Because otherwise, what do you have to hunt for? You know, like if all you do is pull in those monster pots all the time, then you know it would kind of ruin the fun of finding those really good pots when you do find them. So I don't know, that's just like my opinion. I think it's nice to have like the crappy pots in order to make the good pots like actually good. I kind of like that. This one's probably going to be a crappy pot because we're having to throw back a few. In that last pot, I only had to throw back one, so yeah, this one's going to be kind of garbage. Oh my gosh, that guy's tiny. And that guy's a monster. So this is probably going to be like 600 pounds. Ooh, 729. Anyway, I'll bring you back after I gather the rest of the fish, or the rest of the pots, and then we'll go see what our haul is for today. All right, I'm bringing you back because we're approaching the last buoy right now. Now, the other thing, earlier in the episode, I was talking about how my dream game would be like a naval action style game, but in World War II with just the gunboats, right? The other game that I think would be awesome is like a nautical game that was similar to American Truck Simulator game where you can go fishing, or you can do sightseeing, or you can do tour boats and stuff like that, or whatever, transport, cruise lines, you know, so on and so forth, all of the different shipping stuff, and then have it set in like the Atlantic Ocean or something, and you know, you can sail your own boat, but then you can also have like your company where you hire different captains and different crew and progress that way. All right, sorry about that. I had to cough there, and I didn't want you guys to experience that, so I cut that little portion out. But what I was saying was, like, it'd be cool to have like an American Truck Simulator shipping game where, like, you know, you end up being able to hire different captains and different crew and buy different boats and upgrades and yada yada whatever. Okay, so we got a little bit of bonus revenue from our port reputation here for $131,621. That brings us up to $592,155.29. Let me check the loan that we can take. So we can take up to $390,000, which would put us over the mark on like where we want to be. But I don't really want to take a loan. But let's take a quick look, since we got a little bit more time in the episode. Let's take a quick look at like what our next boat should be, because I want a deep line fishing boat that could also potentially do like I also want it to be able to do long line. Oh, there's only this boat. No, that's my owned boat. So I was like, what? Okay, there's the Ocean Runner for $695. And it can do whatever the heck big line is. But it can do big line, net boat, and net boat. I guess that's supposed to be long line. It can also be rigged for deep line and lobster fishing. So maybe that's like long line, net, deep line, and lobster fishing for $695. What's its storage capacity? 44,000. That might be our guy, this Ocean Runner. Shucker for punishment. This would be a good lobster boat for next year. But it can also be rigged for long line, net, and deep line for $895 with a storage size 33,000, storage size 44,000. 88,185. So the nice thing about the Shucker for punishment, though, is that the lobster fishing that this vessel can do is it can do strings of pots. So instead of just the one pot at a time like we've been doing, this thing can do 5 at a time, with a maximum number of crab pots is 150. So I don't know. We'll have to play that by ear, but I think our next boat might be the Ocean Runner here. Just based on like the price, $695, we could probably get that next episode, which would be fantastic because I'm kind of tired of lobster fishing. Anyway, I've been Drakish2000. You've been an awesome possum for making it there to the end of the video, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for making it to the end of that video. I really appreciate you watching it to the whole thing. You're an awesome possum. Don't forget to go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as that goes an extremely long way in helping this small channel grow. I appreciate you watching that video, and I'll see you in the next one.